Hey there, I'm the Stock Boy. Welcome to my channel. Today we are looking at Super Grand Tours of GTA Online, the Schlagen GT, the Paragon R, the DaVinci 770, which I'll have to make an apology for later, as well as the Specter Custom, Benny's version. They're all going to be going at it on my custom tracks. We're going to see which one of these is the best overall performer by the end of the video. There's all of my tracks. I'm going to take all the results, combine them into my custom performance index for these cars by the end. We're going to head to the drag strip first, where we've got the Specter Custom and the Schlagen GT. These two cars are going to take each other on. Then we're going to see the Paragon R and the 770. The winner will take the other winner on at the end. We have a 7/100th of a second advantage for the Schlagen GT at the 60-footer. A 3/10, almost 4/10 at the 8th mile. The Specter Custom is going to try its best to pull in the Schlagen, but it's not going to get there. 6/10 of a second advantage for the AMG Black Series. Now, though, we've got the 770 on the left, Paragon R on the right. We see a little bit of an advantage for the Paragon R at that first 60-foot line. It's going to keep an advantage on its way to the 8th mile, but watch the left side. The 770 starts to pull, and it actually wins the race by 4/100ths of a second. So we have some serious off-the-line power for the Paragon R, but then the 770 closed that gap. Let's see how it handles the Schlagen GT. We all know the Schlagen is really fast. We have an 8th mile time here of 6.6 seconds. It's 3/10 faster. 770 is not quite going to be able to reel this one in, though. A 10-second quarter mile for the Schlagen is fast in GTA Online. Really neat to see. So what we have here then is one car in the 10s, which is awesome. Two cars with 6-second 8th mile times, which is pretty good. And a ton of balance on those bottom three. I mean, those cars are barely separated by anything, really, when you look at them. Looking at the DaVinci 770 at my custom Speedway, how's it going to handle this track? What about the Paragon R? Well, it's got some really weird high gearing issues that are going to affect it. You'll see in a second. We also have the Specter Custom, which might surprise some of you guys with its results here. And will the Schlagen GT just continue its dominance as far as power goes? Well, yes. The Schlagen GT 132.5, pretty good even for the sports class. 770's up there in second place again. The Paragon, I mentioned, it's got some weird high gearing issues that slows it down quite a bit around that track, which is a little disappointing. But now, none of that's going to really matter here at this track. This is a technical circuit. I want to see how well these cars do handling-wise. The Schlagen GT on the bottom and the Specter Custom on the top. Schlagen GT is based on one of my real-life favorite cars, and it's 7/100ths of a second slower through that first sector. This Specter Custom is surprising me a bit. It's actually fairly decent as far as handling goes. The problem with the Schlagen is you get a little bit of oversteer in the slow speed corners and then some understeer in the high speed corners. It's really tricky to nail down the handling. You can see it's about half a second slower through the second sector than the Aston Martin on the top. It also struggles through that little chicane and through this long sweeping corner. It'll understeer just a little bit, but it's got a lot of power. So now it's going to try to reel that Specter in. Can it get there? Not quite. The Aston Martin gets the win here. So the Schlagen dominated most of this testing up to this point, but as far as handling goes, it falls to Benny's car. So now on the top, we've got the 770, which I call a Ferrari F12. You've probably seen that in the recap screens. I think it just looks a lot more like it, especially if you look at the front. You might disagree, that's okay. But we've got another half-second gap at that first sector going to the Paragon R this time. This time, that Paragon R is looking pretty good. What I'll say about the 770, I said that it didn't have a spoiler. I was clearly wrong. Here I am with the spoiler. I don't know how I didn't test it with the spoiler the first time. With the spoiler, it's absolutely fantastic. So, this is a great car. It's only 2/10 of a second slower through the second sector, which is probably the hardest sector on the track. So, it can move once you get going. The problem is that the Paragon R just is really nimble, and for an all-wheel drive car, that's pretty rare. The 770 is really good. I don't think it has any weaknesses. It's just not quite on the same level when it comes to putting it all together on my test track. So a second is the gap there. Now, Paragon R on the bottom, the Bentley Continental Supersports versus the Aston Martin on the top. I did my best to make these cars look like the real life versions. All 4 cars in this video. I love doing that, so hopefully you guys are enjoying that too. But you'll see here the Paragon R almost a full second faster through that first sector. The Paragon is so easy to drive. The Specter Custom is maybe a little sluggish when it comes to its handling. The Paragon R doesn't have that problem at all. It dives into corners, really easy to find your line in that car on the bottom. And you're gonna see here, it gains another half second on the Specter Custom in that second sector. It rips through the chicane and has absolutely no problem getting to the bottom of the corner there. Don't have to lift anything. It just goes where you want it to. So it may not be the most powerful, but as far as handling goes, it's absolutely crazy. Well within supercar territory at a 57-second lap here. Unbelievably fast. So it's at the top, no question. 770 comes in second, again, second in every single test. But the Specter Custom above the Schlagen, that's different. Schlagen GT does make it in under 60 seconds, which is good. That means it's fast at this track. Overall performance though, speed score, I still have the Schlagen GT on the top with that custom equation. But look at the balance, especially in those top 3. Really neat. All basically in the top 20 in the sports class, which is pretty cool to see too. This Aston is absolutely just cool. It's a fun car. I love the way it looks. And even though it's sluggish, it's still fun. The Paragon R has so much handling. It's just awesome. I love the car. If you don't have it, you probably want it. The 770, I'm sorry, my friend. You really are a fantastic car. I lied about you, and you know, I'm paying for it. But I made this video because I love it, and I love all these cars, especially the Schlagen GT. It is just so awesome. Looks-wise, performance-wise, it's everything it should be. It sounds great. Absolutely love it. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it. Whew, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you're still here, please subscribe to the channel. Give me a quick like. It helps me out a ton. Thanks for joining. See you next time.